If you're a local service business and you want to make $75,000 in 120 days with an AI agent army without spending thousands of dollars and hours on recruitment, then this is how you can leverage 24/7 multi-channel AI agents that are going to run your entire appointment setting process for you. So you no longer either have to do it yourself or you don't have to hire appointment setters that you're going to spend maybe 5 to 10% of every single deal and maybe 90% of your marketing budget if you're paying them on a salary base. So this is why it's so important for you to leverage this as soon as possible. And this is what it's going to do for your company. So I'm sure you're stuck in the old model of running your appointment setting process. You run ads, or maybe you have a cold outbound system, whatever it may be, some sort of way of gathering attention. And then once people show interest, you have an initial message, you have one way of reaching out. And then eventually you're going to solicit a call, you're going to solicit whatever it may be that you're trying to sell them on, whether it be a sales call or it be a consultation. You're going to take this if they even show up, if you have the required systems in place, or they just so happen to show up. And then from there, you're going to get them on a deal. And the way with this is why it's so broken. When you send people from an ad to a DM, to a set, to a call, to a deal, is that there's no trust. So they don't trust you and they don't value your services. So the type of people that are sent through this funnel are the people that are going to be the price shoppers, and they're going to try to argue on the price. And they're also going to be the tire kickers, people who don't actually want the job done right now. It's people who might just be looking to get it down the line. The ad to deal funnel is the most broken funnel, and if you're still using it in 2025, it is guaranteed that you're going to fall behind. And if you're running this funnel and setting appointments yourself, so doing the two things that are lack of leverage, it's no surprise that you're still stuck. Or maybe, you might be paying an appointment setter 5 to 10% commission on every single deal. I want to ask you this: how does it feel to give up a portion of your business that you worked so hard on? When you're giving up 5 to 10% commission on every single deal, you're essentially giving up equity in your business because, you're cutting into your margins to someone who barely isn't doing anything. They might just doing, a little bit of DM setting or a little bit of calling or whatever it may be. And you're doing all the hard work and you're giving up equity in your business, but you don't have to do that for much longer. The thing is that things of today may not work tomorrow. We're progressing way too quickly to be doing the same things that worked in 2020. People have become so desensitized to being sold and to this type of funnel that they're expecting you to send them to a landing page or lead form or to be called. So when you meet their expectations, they're going to classify you as one of those guys. They're making them less likely to buy from you because they don't trust you and that you don't stand out. And the fact you're doing everything yourself plus paying $2,000 a month minimum to an appointment setter, which is probably like 90% of your marketing budget, you can just take that and run it and use it for ads instead, or even equity in your business to an appointment setter. It's the most broken, unleveraged appointment setting process in the entire industry. Instead, you need a process that's going to educate your leads, release you from operations, so you don't have to do anything really when it comes to acquisition. Set appointments for marginal costs, so you can set appointments. The LTV to CAC ratio is the fundamental economic principle of every single business, of course. So you want to be able to set appointments for such marginal costs and be able to charge them these appointments that you're setting and charge them on a high upfront cost. You also need to control the flow of deals, right? You don't want inconsistent months. You want to have consistency because that's going to allow you to scale your business. And the best way to do this that we've found is through a community funnel. With a community funnel, you're going to be 4 times more likely to convert your leads. Not only do you increase your conversion rate, but you also increase their lifetime value. How do you do this? Well, it's all because you're taking the required steps to actually educate your leads on your offer. You're not just leaving up to hope that they might convert, you're educating your leads so they know exactly what they're getting. Competition is at an all-time high in so many different industries. Whether you're in remodeling, you're in the finance, you're an agency, whatever it may be, competition is so high and it's your chance to stand out and you need people to trust you. Getting to $20,000 a month now is so much harder to get to $100,000 5 years ago. There's so many different ways to implement this community funnel into your marketing process, but at Axelli.io, what we like to focus on is the two that provide the most returns. So these two are downselling the upsell and direct traffic. So downsell the upsell is directing traffic to your main offer, but then downselling unqualified prospects to your community. It's so effective because we're turning unqualified people, so leads that were to come in and let's say they don't have the money, we're turning these people into qualified prospects because we're going to be educating them on your process. So let's say they don't have the money right now. We put them in the community so that they don't forget about you. And then eventually down the line, once they do have the money, you're going to be top of mind because they're already in your community. Direct traffic is so simple because it's just sending traffic directly to a community instead of pitching them on a call or a consultation. We're going to see much higher opt-ins, higher value sales calls, and more attention because once you get someone into the habit of consuming, they're going to be more likely to share it, and that's acquiring you more users. But how is this actually done? So this is the moat creation model. Once you establish a personal brand on YouTube or Instagram or any really organic presence, you are leveraging what we like to call the personal brand moat. And what this does, you send people to a community or to a platform where you're centralizing everything. You then feed people demonstration assets of what you do on your offer. So if you're an agency, you demonstrate what you do. Or even if you're a remodeler or some car detailer or any local service business, you can also do this as well. Just demonstrate what you do and how you might be different and how you're going to get people exactly what they want. And these people are the highest value clients and the lowest CAC because they're coming from organic channels and they're also being educated on your process. So this is the 3-step process to increase the value per booked call and lifetime value by leveraging your community funnel. So the first thing that you need is to gather attention. The first part of implementing this community funnel is to gather attention. And we can do this in a lot of different ways. But Accelerate.io, what we like to do is we like to acquire the most amount of leverage every step of the way so that we're not going to be falling behind. And the best way to do this is paid ads and content because they're going to give us the highest chance of success. And if you want to know how you can build out our AI content system, I have a full breakdown on my YouTube channel, or you could just click the link down below, claim this document, and then click this link right here. We like to use AI to scrape the top 1% in the industry, identify viral topics, and then use these topics to create viral videos so you don't have to do anything. Basically, what we do is we do the same thing for paid ads as well. So we're going to scrape the data. We're then going to use that data to ideate. We're going to create, and then we're going to share. Or you could do it yourself and you get a long unleveraged route that requires a lot of trial and error. Like if you can think of how long it takes to create content and to go viral. Matter of fact, it's going to take even longer because you don't have access to the data and the information that's going to allow you to go viral. You're not listening to the best people in the industry. You're just doing what you think is best. And we're trying to get rich here. We're not trying to be right. So it's really up to you. Spending hours per week creating content just for it to maybe work, or creating dozens of ad campaigns just to get low quality leads. If that's something that you want to do and you want to do it yourself and you want to save maybe a little bit of money, then sure, go ahead. But I'd rather save time than save money, in my opinion. But if you want an Accelerate.io growth specialist to walk you through our AI content system and our ad system and how we could potentially implement it into your business, give you a custom one-on-one roadmap call, then just pick a time here. Like I said, you either click the link down below, claim this entire document so you can see the step-by-step process, and then you could just click this link right here, or you click the second link and you just go directly to the roadmap call. Now, number 2, what you need to do when you implement this community funnel is you need to choose an implementation process. So remember the 2 processes that provide the most returns. So we have the first one, which is downsell the upsell, and number 2 is direct traffic. So the first one is downsell the upsell. It kind of relates to 2 different pillars. So we have our content system and we have the unlimited lead system. And these 2 pillars essentially speak to each other because we're going to use this as retargeting. Now, once we gather attention for this implementation process, we want to be sending people to either a landing page, a lead form, or an inbound call. There's a lot of things you can be doing, but these are the best ways that we found. Like you can either send people to WhatsApp or you can send people to SMS. Doesn't really matter, but we find these 3 are probably the best. Now you can stop here, and you could stop here and you could deal with the rest from here. You could, you chose the implementation process, you got people in the community, and you can manage the community yourself, and you can also manage all the inbound calls and everything like that. Or you can see how you can leverage the army of AI appointment setters that this whole entire document is about. And what they're going to do is they're going to handle all your inbound leads for you on so many different channels. So remember when I said you can send people to a WhatsApp? Well, they're going to be able to convert people on WhatsApp. Let's say it's an inbound call, like a phone call. They're going to be able to handle that as well. So whatever it may be, they're going to be able to handle that. So if you want to see how you can build an AI voice appointment setter, you can either go on my YouTube, you're going to be able to find it there. It's called How to Book Appointments in Your Sleep, or claim this document once again and just click this link right here. But just doing this and just having these AI appointment setters or maybe just doing things yourself and just sending people to a landing page, a lead form, or an inbound call is only 1/3 of the equation. It gets even better. These AI agents have so much more power once you dictate them, once you prompt them properly. And what we're leveraging now at Exela.io is we're creating a management structure for AI agents. So we dedicate one AI agent to oversee the entire process, and then other AI agents to trigger specific actions within the appointment setting process. And all of them have one common goal in mind, and that is to set appointments. So this is kind of what it looks like. So let's say a lead were to come in through an ad. Well, we're going to build out an AI agent that is going to be just for the qualification process. And whether they're unqualified or they're qualified, it's going to send them to the next AI agent. And the best part about this and why we've found of creating this management structure rather than just having one AI agent that's going to handle the entire appointment setting process, well, we found that an AI agent is going to be so much more effective if they're focused on one tool, right? Once you give someone so much information, they're going to be overloaded. The same thing with humans. Like if you were to read so many different books all at once, you're probably going to learn a lot less if you were to focus just on one book. Same thing with AI agents. Instead, we're giving them tools and we're giving them actions. So once we give someone these AI agents just one action, then they're going to be so much more effective. So whether they're unqualified or qualified, it's going to send them to the next AI agent. This is the qualified agent. This is the downsell process. So let's say they're unqualified. Well, there's going to be a downselling AI agent, and then there's a post-booking one. There's also a rebooking one in case they need to cancel. So if the lead is unqualified, then the downsell agent will trigger the lead, sending them into the community. So either a low ticket product or they're going to join the community. We like to get them to join the community because that's a little bit better. Now, the second one is direct traffic. So instead of trying to send people to a call, so like I mentioned here, we're sending people to an inbound call, a landing page opt-in, and a community. So we're trying to push people to a consultation or trying to get them, we're being a little bit call hungry essentially. And this is where we implement this, and we're going to send people to the community on the downselling AI agent. But with the direct traffic method, we're going to send them directly to a community through an opt-in, whether it be a landing page, a direct link, or even a lead form. It doesn't really matter. Once these people opt in through a community, well, we're going to hire ourselves for you. If you decide you want to partner with us, we're going to hire a $3 an hour growth specialist, which is going to essentially hire and manage the entire community for you. They're going to nurture people as soon as they come in. They're going to feed them sales assets, the stuff that was taken from the AI contest system. That's super, super effective. And what we're also going to do, and then the growth specialist then is going to offer them the consultation, and it's going to book the consultation. And what this does, because they're communicating with each other, is essentially creates an infinite return realm. And this is exactly how this infinite return realm works. So you're going to build, well, the growth specialist is going to build an incredibly valuable, attractive asset. You're going to build it and pay it once, and then it's essentially free to acquire users. And once you get these users, it's when we send out these sales ads to them, what we're doing is we're monetizing the process. We're solving their future problems, and once you solve future problems, people get into the habit of consuming. Once we create a habit of consuming from just being a regular user and we transform them into, this asset being part of someone's daily life, well, they're going to be so much more likely to share it with friends, with family, whatever it may be, and that acquires you more users. It works with software, it works with many, many different things, and it works incredibly well, especially in service-based businesses. So this is essentially what Google does. If you go on Google search, if you search up anything, you can find basically all known knowledge for completely free. And Google was able to leverage this attention for themselves. So what they did is they knew that people were searching up how to get leads for my cleaning business. So what they did here is they then started targeting lead gen agencies to then pay Google to show them their solution to each one of these people. And that creates a flywheel of infinite amount of money because they made $279 billion in literally 1 year. Same thing with Meta. So these two massive companies are doing this. They're giving the community to everyone. Let's say you want to recommend specific interests automatically to increase value. So let's say I have a baby product business and he needs a community or an audience of mothers. So then what's Meta going to do? Well, Meta owns attention. So Meta owns the eyes of those mothers. So they're then going to reach out and partner with these businesses. And this is how they use their ads. And this is why their ads are so profitable. So essentially, once you centralize your nurturing by building a community, you're going to turn eyes into loyal users. In the community, you're going to need to feed your leads with value. And this is done with sales assets that are taken from your viral content system. So it's not like you're doing much more work, but you can have a growth specialist do this entire process for you if you want. And then once you start solving their problems with these assets, they get into a habit of consuming. Then when something's a habit, and be more likely to share it with friends or family, acquiring you more community users. So essentially what it looks like is that you create the valuable assets, you acquire users, you solve more problems, you get them into a habit of consuming your assets, they're going to share it, and then that's going to acquire you more users. So it's basically a flywheel. Now, the third and final thing is community structure. And this is how you're going to structure the community, and this is how it's going to look like when you get people from just being just being a community member to actually being a client, because we need to convert these people, right? So when the lead requests to join, we need to collect their information because we want to send them on a back-end email sequence to make sure we're taking every single step to convert them onto a call. So as soon as they join the community, you want to start a conversation within 10 to 30 minutes of them joining. It's just going to increase the likelihood that you're going to convert them, of course, because speed to lead. And I didn't mention this here, but when it comes to softwares that you want to use for back-end email sequences, you can really use like any CRM, or you can use GroupKit to collect the information automatically. It's going to connect to Facebook, and you can also use something like maybe ActiveCampaign to send them on an email marketing sequence. But that's besides the point. So if you want to, once you start the conversation with them, you need to gain their permission to send an asset, but you're not going to send it through DM. What you're going to do is you're going to post it to everybody because this is the best part. Listen to this. Once people show their interest through a DM, let's say you're starting a conversation with them and you go, can I send this over? And they go, yeah, but this is going to help me, because they're realizing once they're committed to this, they believe themselves that what you're going to offer them, the free value, the free asset that you're going to offer them, is going to solve their problems. Meaning that the likelihood that someone else has that same problem is pretty high. So instead of just sending it to someone, you're going to post it on the general discussion. So just post that community and then tag them in it. And that's going to be a lot more effective than just sending it to them. And then you can offer them a call or a consultation to kind of walk them through the process. And at Axelay.io, like I said, we don't like the owners running the community. Instead, we're going to place $3 an hour growth specialists into the community that are going to run the entire thing. So from opt-in to conversion, do the whole entire thing. And then once in a while, you can tap in, you can engage with the community just to establish yourself as the authoritative figure. And conversion is so easy because either you set them when they join, as soon as they join within the 10 to 30 minutes, or the backend email sequence. So there's going to be CTAs to get them on a call, or after they've claimed the asset, because once you give them value, there's so much, it's the reciprocity, right? When people buy or consume something of you, you give them something, they want to give you something back. Now, where do these AI agents fall? This team of AI agents are used for the AI content system, the ad system, and the appointment setting process. So the AI content system is going to scrape competitor content structures. It's going to create a database of viral topics. It's going to ideate. It's going to generate the scripts, and it's going to automate the posting schedule. So you basically have to do nothing. It's completely faceless. All you do is, 30 to 60 seconds of just recording whatever you want. Just get some background. You just get some B-roll. So that's essentially all you need. And the AI ad system is going to scrape industry ad libraries, identify winning creatives, copy headlines, generate creatives, copy headlines, whatever it may be. And the appointment setting process is going to handle all inbound and outbound calls. It's going to have a multi-channel presence on WhatsApp, SMS, Instagram, whatever you can think about. It also has a 2-minute speed to lead, so you could be 4 times more likely to convert your leads. So if you don't think that this is going to get you to the point where you need to be, and if you want to just stand in the sidelines and keep running your appointment setting process yourself and be an owner operator model and just watch people make millions while you make maybe 10 to 30K a month inconsistently, then keep doing you. But if you want to leverage this entire process, then click the link down below, claim your free roadmap call. What we're going to do is we're going to go over exactly how we can build out these 3 processes for you in your business. Leave your credit card at home. It's going to be essential. It's going to be completely free. There's no sales guru or anything like that. I want to give you so much value, and you can run away with it if you want. If you want us to partner, then great. Then we'll build it out for you and we'll run it for free for 3 months. If not, no hard feelings. But whatever you do choose, I'll see you on the other side.